We all know the mandate of the basic in the law of Indonesian nation that education is the right of all the children that cannot be separated and snatched away for any reasons. Education is an absolute right and obligation for every citizen of any nation for good purpose in individuals, environment, or even for the progress of civilization of a nation. So, this is importance of the education as the basic joint of the life to form a civilized human being and advance civilizations. However, there is still a layers of society with a weak economic level that still cannot touch the equality of good education and causing the potential and education's right that shouldn't be obtained by the child that cannot be realized. This is why we stand in positions to agree with this motion at the time. That is, the scholarship should be and should only be given on the basic of financial necessity. At least there is three main mechanisms on which became best our team's argument, which is supporting why this scholarship is need to given to the children that have necessity financials more. First, scholarships are given to underprivileged children who excels and have a good achievement. It is a responsibility of nation to preserve the superior seats to become the holders of the power leaderships in the futures. However, if the child comes from a poor family but has the potential and stand out in a curtained majoring, this will limit the space of the children to moving forward. Because in this case, there is three reasons why an education can be achieved by underprivileged and poor families. First, there is a stigma that the better of the quality of education system is in a particular school or institutions is need higher financial demands that must be paid by the students. Secondly, the demands of a complete and at least any adequate and facilities for the learning for the student, just like laptop and extra tutoring teacher at the school, which have the course that requires and have to pay in a large enough cost for the student. This is morely have to attention because we know that for nowadays we're in the home and in a pandemic we need a laptop, handphone, and so many technological that is not can buy in cheap cost. So this need more extras financial that have to require. And then third, there is also a reason that a training system and a monthly fees for students in the school, for example Indonesia is PP, who compete and take a part in Olympics. If the student is take a part in Olympic, of course these students is offering by a tutor or less or even just some kind of private tutors that is of course needly the student to join. So if a child with such a strong desire and potential but they are limited by the cost that have to pay it, so in this case they just have to quit out? Of course not, and obviously we do not agree about that, and we don't want the student who have the great potential to stop right that way because the financial reasons. So this is why the scholarships are important for underprivileged students and need financials more. So secondly, the second mechanism and second argument, we need to provide scholarships which are sourced from the BOS school, because we know in Indonesia there is both or operational assistance for fund for school, and this is for students in elementary, junior highs, and high school students, or even in a private or in public schools who have difficulty in paying monthly. As we know, this is case is SPP. So first, we know that some of government owned school in Jakarta, for example, they're exempt from student monthly fees, but this is not happening in all the public schools in another area, such as in Bekasi or in another areas in Javas. So it is necessary to provide scholarship and assistance funds to make it easier for the children who have less of financial supremations to finish the school. We know funds, or both funds, are funds given by the Ministry of Education and Culture support in Indonesia to operational need for the school. And secondly, for the private school, both funds are mostly not using fully because there has been injection funds from their own foundations that of course oversees the institutions. So it will be more effective if the funds from the boss are given from the scholarship for the students who came from underprivileged family at the school, because it is very unfortunate if the students who have entered the school, but because of the financial reasons, they have to cut off from the school because the financial of the family problems. Children do not have to bear the consequence of the problems, and let alone this impose living in their futures, right? So thirdly became the last mechanism and the argument of our teams. Scholarships are official budgets that have been calculated and of course classification according to their respective place, and also we made a survey for the families of the students who have received the scholarship. This is neatly to give scholarships for the students more objective, make it this mechanism is neat for that. So in this case, the first reason, in this case, if we do these mechanisms, the students are that have the funds, it will be more objective and given to the right students. As we know that the case of scholarships, misappropriations and disabuse for funds in scholarships by responsible some people and parties are increasingly become counter the reason that scholarships need to be carried out. But it would make of the budget and list allocation as well as transparency. It will be different by the organizations, or it will be different if it is listing by the organizer of scholarships that is belongs to government or private. It's clear then the donors or the funds should no longer hesitate to give their money, and then all the scholarships applicants no need to be afraid and doubt of unexpected costs that are not covered by the scholarship provider. So with this mechanism, we hope that the purpose of holding these scholarships can be realized, which has to become a more funding and education cost to make the future national children successful, even they're from unlikely family. So in this case, we are really high stand to proud to be our government teams.